up, guys? Omar here, broker and CEO of Allotted Mortgage and Ome Realty. So we are going to go ahead and do a mortgage rate update. I already did a mortgage rate update earlier today, but I'm going to go ahead and give you another one. The rates kind of did change here in a little bit. Now this goes on in an eighth of a scale. So majority of them are going to look the same because we don't go by the eighth of the scale on this little Excel spreadsheet that I have that we have made up every single morning whenever we give it out to our loan officers. But 8/3/2022, we're going to go give you a mortgage rate update. And then the question is, should landlords be able to go ahead and cut off utilities to homes where people did not pay rent? I'm going to go ahead and give you an answer to that. It's probably not going to be liked by a lot of you, but stay tuned and we'll go ahead and let you know exactly what we think. So 30-year fixed will be sitting at 4.45%. 15-year fixed will be sitting at 3.56%. 30-year high balance will be sitting at 4.76%. DSCR, which is a debt service covered ratio loan. This is an income producing property, like a rental property, which for us to qualify you, we just go based off of what the income that is coming in from the property versus the total debt as that's going out. So that's how we calculate that one. So you don't need your W-2s, you don't need a pay stub or any of that stuff. That will be sitting at 7.85%. Bank statement loans will be sitting at 7.63%. FHA 30-year will be sitting at 3.79%. 7.6 adjustable rate mortgage will be sitting at 4.52%. USDA 30-year fixed will be sitting at 3.83%. VA 30-year fixed will be sitting at 3.99%, and hard money fix and flip will be sitting at 9.25%. So if you are interested in any of these mortgage products, link in the description below for up to 50% commission rebate, 0% listing on selling your current home or any mortgage assistance. Link in the description below. So there's a hot debated question, and this has been something that has gone over. Like there's mandates, there's laws in place for landlords having restrictions on exactly what they're able to do, especially when it comes to an eviction process. Now there's a big debate, especially when it comes to landlords, and then majority of you are actually going to be watching this video and you're like, you know what, this guy's an asshole. He's going to be talking about shutting water off to people that don't pay their rent. Well, this is the reason why I don't understand why you're not allowed to. If this is your property, okay, so hear me out, okay? Now, if this is your property, now majority of people have this misconception that real estate investors, especially myself included, that are landlords, that we have big margins and we're making millions and millions of dollars, which in actuality is not the case at all. Well, our margins are super thin. Our cap rates on, which is a capitalization rate, which is the total amount that we have coming in versus the amount that the property costs that is going out. I'm not going to bore you with a cap rate, but our cap rate, the amount of money that we're usually typically getting in, our return on investment, our ROI on that is usually between, especially here in California, now it's between 3 and if we get lucky around 6%. That is not a lot of money, especially when you're accumulating so much debt on this one property, because this is not a short-term investment, right? This is a long-term investment. So we still end up getting a mortgage. We still have to pay insurance. We still have to pay taxes. We still have to go ahead and encumber ourselves with a bunch of these.
Landlord today, because so many people, there was rent protection during the pandemic and people are still like, nah, not paying.
Yeah.
Like I know a guy who has not collected rent from this one person for 3 fucking years. And he's like, I can't get rid of them. I don't know what to do. I'm not making any money. Like, I have to pay the mortgage, and I'm not making any money off of rent. And then I can't rent it out to anybody else, and I can't get rid of them. And the lady has a job. The lady has a job. She goes to work every day and won't pay rent.
Oh, she shouldn't do that.
No. But there's like
costs that are associated with owning a property. Now, when you have a rental, we still have our own properties. We still have day jobs. We still have to go ahead and make money in order for us to go ahead and pay for this, just in case other costs come up, like a foreclosure, and we have to pay lawyers to go ahead and evict anybody. So there was this debate that we had with a couple of people, and these were renters, and then I had a couple of my buddies that were also in the investment world, and they said, you know what, there was an investor that over here, this landlord, and I'm not talking about big landlords, okay? I'm not talking about big landlords. I'm talking about small mom and pop, like myself included, people who have between 10 to 20 properties, not that much, it's very, very little. Now, they say that, you know what, you shouldn't be able to go ahead and turn off utilities, but why wouldn't you? Now the argument is that if a utility company doesn't get the money that they were promised in order to utilize that service that they're being provided, Well, they're able to shut off the water. They're able to shut off the electricity. They could do all of that. So why wouldn't a landlord be able to, if they are going to go ahead and have a delinquency on that rent based off of, and we have to go through all these loopholes, and there's so much tenant rights and everything like that. Like, why would that be, why is that our problem? Now, the second part of the debate is that, okay, well, if there, now this is the landlord side of us. Now we were saying, hey, if there was a delinquency and there was this mandate, there's a law, which is a law right now, that you cannot shut off utilities for a home, well, pay us for it. Help these people out. If you want to go ahead and make this a tenant right, well, then go ahead and assist them. Have an assistance program that's set out for it, instead of you guys dumping all this stupid money on whatever it is that you guys decide to dump on. I don't know, Save Turtles or something like that, which I love turtles. Turtles are actually kind of cool, but you know what I mean, right? I'm just talking about like all these different programs that they hemorrhage money into that means no sense at all. So why can't you go ahead and just pay the people that need assistance? Have them fill out an application, justify exactly why they can't pay mortgage, show them a foreclosure rate. Well, this way the landlord gets a little bit, the tenant gets a little bit, and then the state. I mean, God knows in California here we pay enough taxes. The taxes that we pay here in California are crazy. Okay, well, if that's not the case, if that doesn't make you happy, well, what happens with the mortgage, the insurance, and all of that we still have to pay? Now, with our profit margins at 3 to 6%, which is very, very low, it's not that much, because we usually get paid as investors, as landlords. The more doors we get, the more properties we build up, and we build up our portfolio, that's when we kind of lower our risk and we're okay. So like if we have 30 or 40 units and two people decide that they don't want to pay, well, that's not that big of a deal. We still have money coming in on all of these other properties. But let's say you're a landlord that only has 5 properties and 2 of those don't go ahead and pay. Now you have mortgages on these 2, so your money from these 3 properties are not covering these 2 over here that they are not paying. You still have a mortgage on that. You still have insurance that you have to pay. You still have taxes that you have to pay. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. I would love to hear your opinion on it. So comment below and let me know exactly what you think, because ultimately it's not fair for one or the other. Now, I think there should be a tier selection that anybody over, let's say, 20 properties will not qualify for this program, right? This program that I have in my head that I'm trying to articulate as best as I can. Landlords that have 20 or more properties, well, you don't get the assistance, or 30 or more, or 40 or more, whatever it is. But landlords that are between 1 to let's say 20 properties, well, yeah, you get state assistance, or you get 1 to 30, especially if it's the tenant. Now, I feel bad. People lose their jobs. There are people, any financial situation that you're in, of course, it feels terrible. But utility companies don't care. AT&T, Verizon, your cell phone carriers don't call. If you don't pay your bill, guess what's going to happen? They're going to cut your line. They're going to go ahead and stop the water that's coming to your house. If you go to the supermarket and you don't have any money, guess what? They're not going to give you any groceries. It's just not going to happen. So why do you get to live rent free? Why is the landlord not allowed to go ahead and shut off utilities? Why is real property so much different from every other service that is set out over the course of the year? Now, majority are also going to be like, you know what, you're such a piece of shit. You know how hard we have to work in order for us to accumulate these properties, how hard it is, and how many hours of working 16 to 18 hour shifts it is for people that are just starting out to go ahead and acquire that first property and then go to get the next one. You know how much money it is? You wouldn't know, and majority of the tenants will go ahead and be on one side of the fence because you guys didn't save up that down payment. You guys didn't sacrifice all those going out and eating and all of this other stuff. And then you're like, well, you know what? We just don't have those available to us. We don't have those programs available to us. We will never be property owners. Well, yeah, you will. That's my bread and butter. I help the little guy out. You have BMR properties, which is below market rate. You have assistance programs, which I provide myself. I get 50% commission rebates. I find down payment assistance programs, so you could essentially go buy a house for 0 down payment. You don't have to do any of that. So there are a bunch of programs out there, but you just don't want to go ahead and do it. Well, let me know what you think. Hopefully you like the content. Hopefully you like the little rant. This is more of a dialogue back and forth. I would love to hear anybody's opinion on it. So let me know in the link in the description below. Like, subscribe, comment, all that other good stuff. Until next video, guys, I hope this didn't offend too many people. I hope you didn't get really too mad. But until next video, guys, I really appreciate you watching. So we're up to 50% commission rebate, 0% listing on selling your current home or any mortgage assistance. Link in the description below. Peace.